Welcome to Parallel Universe. He wrote some of the most honest songs American music has ever produced. Running on Empty. The Pretender. For a Dancer. Songs so nakedly autobiographical and so emotionally precise that millions of people heard them and felt personally understood in ways they had never quite managed to articulate themselves. Jackson Browne spent 50 years being one of the most quietly extraordinary artists of his generation. But the tragedy running beneath that extraordinary career is a story that even his most devoted fans have never fully stopped to examine. Jackson Browne was born on October 9, 1948, in Heidelberg, Germany, where his father was stationed as an American serviceman, and raised in the Highland Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. He was writing songs of remarkable maturity by his teenage years, songs that the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, and the Byrds were recording before he had released anything under his own name. He signed with Asylum Records in 1971 and built a catalog so consistently excellent that critics ran out of new ways to praise it before he ran out of new ways to earn that praise. But grief found Jackson Browne early and shaped everything that followed. In 1976, his wife Phyllis Major, the mother of his son Ethan, died by suicide at just 30 years old. Jackson has never fully addressed it publicly in the direct and clinical terms that journalism demands. He addressed it the only way he knew how, through music. The album The Pretender, released later that year, was written in the aftermath of her death and remains one of the most emotionally devastating records in the history of American rock. He was 28 years old and already carrying a grief that most people never recover from. The personal losses kept arriving. Relationships that carried their own complications and endings. A domestic violence allegation from actress Daryl Hannah in 1992 that damaged his reputation significantly and that he has addressed with varying degrees of directness over the years. The accumulation of losses, both private and public, that every artist of his generation who has survived long enough eventually carries. He contracted COVID-19 in March 2020, one of the first high-profile musicians to publicly disclose a diagnosis, and recovered. He has spent his later years deepening his already serious commitment to environmental and political causes, performing at benefit concerts, and speaking with an increasing urgency about a world he believes is running out of time to correct its course. In 2026, at 77 years old, Jackson Browne is on an acoustic tour across America, just him, Greg Lease, and two vocalists, performing 50 years of songs to audiences that have been carrying those songs through their own lives for decades. His voice has changed. The songs have not. And the tragedy is not that he is 77. It is that the boy who lost his wife at 28, wrote the most honest album of the decade about it, and kept going anyway deserves so much more peace than the world has ever managed to give him.